Hi everybody, Iman here from Digital Matter. Today we'll be talking about history views on the TG web interface. Before we get started, I want to highlight that we do have some great documentation on our support pages. I recommend having a read through this article. Now, to get started, click on the trip on the history tab and you'll see these options. The first one on top is the trip history map view, where you'll be presented with something like this, where you can select the vehicle or an asset and a particular date. Clicking on individual trips, it shows you the trip itself from point A to B. And if you would like to see all the trips at one go, collated into one, you can press this checkbox to see everything together. We also have the ability to display speed as a graph, where we compare the actual speed of the vehicle versus the local speed limit. Now, if you go on to the next option, we have point history view. This is more to do with devices that are on periodic tracking mode rather than movement-based or adjusted mode tracking. So the information presented here may look slightly different. The next option is manage trips. So if we go back to my DAR3 and let's say we go on to Saturday where I was driving quite a bit, we can look at each and every sort of trip that I've driven. And we also see the location. So we have the street address, but also in some certain instances, we have the geofences, given that I've drawn a geofence around a particular location, in this case, my home. Now, the next option is asset timeline. So if we click on a particular asset, we can look at all the events that has happened. So that could be speeding events or let's say ignition on events. So it gives you that sort of telemetry detail, which can be quite handy to look at. Now, the next option is asset daily coverage. And it's again that sort of collated view where you can see all the different trips a vehicle or a group of vehicles or assets have taken. So on Saturday, I drove quite a bit, and here are all the different trips I've taken. At the same time, let's say I also wanted to look at another vehicle, for example, Uber Taxi 2, and what trips it has done. So you can have multiple trips of different vehicles on the same map, which is quite handy. The last option over here is destination history map. So if we click on a particular asset, again, let's pick on my DAR3, we get to see all the destinations my vehicle has visited over time from point A to point B periods of time. This is quite handy, especially for companies where, let's say, they're hiring out skip bins and they just want to know where the skip bin has been rather than what trip or how it got there. They just want to know where it ended up. We also have a clustered view, so you can manage this sort of information better. And also heat maps, which is another representation of clustering. So yeah, those are the trip history and history views on our platform. If you have any questions, do send us an email. We'd be more than happy to help. Thank you.